minute. And there you go. Technology is beautiful. I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day, and I'm so very excited to be here. Let me tell you something. So you guys know I love authors, right? Authors, complete without kids. Yes! Finally, something that I can relate to, that I can like grab a hold of. Complete without kids. I'm telling you. At 50 years old, I said to myself, I want my kids to be grown and out. Well, I got grown. Out is a little optional, but grown is always good. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have our author today, complete without kid author, Ellen Walker. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Hey, good
Thanks for
morning.
inviting me.
No problem, no problem. So I wanted to go down and say thank you so much for joining us, but also for your brief history. I would love to know like your background, like how did this happen? How did you become an author by mistake? Was it something you always loved to do? I mean, what was it?
It was definitely an accident. So I grew up in the deep South, born in 1960. Everybody there got married, had kids, right? That's just what you did. And so for some reason I was a little rebellious. I got married, but I got divorced, and then I got a PhD, and I got really busy with work. I got a dog, and then all of a sudden, I got together with this man who had grown children, and he started talking about how much he loved being a dad. And I thought, oh my God, maybe I really screwed up. I forgot to be a mom. And I was like 45 years old, right? So I started feeling really bad. I just felt really like a big loser because everybody around me had children. And so I thought, well, maybe I should do a research project and find some people who didn't have kids and interview them and learn more about people like Oprah Winfrey, for example, who, she's not a mom.
Right.
And so that's what I did. I just put out a call for, people who wanted to be interviewed. And I spent a year writing a book and meeting a lot of interesting people and doing some research. And it helped me to find peace with where I was in my life.
Right. Now
And
the big question, I'm sorry to interrupt you. The big question is did you ever have children?
no, no children.
Oh,
No.
oh.
And I
That's
have
okay. You can
dogs.
adopt.
I don't really want kids. I never wanted kids. That's the
Okay.
thing.
I hear you.
Yeah. But the only time I want kids is when I'm walking through Target and I see those cute little outfits. You know what I mean,
I
right?
do. I do.
They're
I go
so
to the theaters and
cute.
go, oh, it's so cute. Oh my gosh, look how little they are. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you
right,
realize how little they are. Yeah, no.
right.
Wow, wow. So, okay, so your journey is like into writing. What was that like? I mean, I know that you went and you researched and everything, but research is great. How did you begin this whole thing though? How was the first chapter hard? Was it simple? I mean, what was that?
Well, I did what I usually do. I hired a writing coach, and I met with her every week. She lived in California. I never met her in person.
Hmm.
And she told me what to do. And so I would do the homework assignments and then get back together with her. Now that was my first book, which was in 2011.
Oh, wow.
And then so much has changed since then, of course, in the
Yeah,
world. Back then, it was very rare still to hear anything about not having kids. Now everybody's talking about it.
yeah.
So I thought I should do a second edition.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah,
that one I honestly just discipline myself to take time and do it. So
I got you. I got you. Yeah, because so many people are having surrogates to have their kids now. It's like, okay, yeah, we're having a baby. You're like too skinny and flat. Oh yeah, we hired a surrogate. It's like, yeah, okay, you paid someone else to use their body to have this baby. That's what you did. Yeah, and people do that now. So, and also
well, they
their
do.
eggs.
A lot of people just don't want to have kids at all, though. They just want
No.
to have their careers. They want to
Hmm.
travel.
They
They're
want to skip
worried
that whole
about the
part.
future.
Yeah, they want to skip the whole pregnancy part. Just go straight to the baby. Just straight to the
Oh, they
baby.
don't even want to have a baby.
I know.
They want to have fun.
Wow. Wow. Well, okay, so your writing process and all that stuff, you said you really, really buckled down and wrote, was it this one or the one before?
This one, well, both of them, yeah, but I didn't have a coach for
Oh,
this.
wow. How was that?
It's good. Well, I'm a psychologist, so I'm used to writing
Mm,
reports, and I think it's a great goal for everybody to write a book. And you don't write a book hoping to make $1 million. You
right.
do it for the challenge of doing something that's hard and you've never done before, and it's a good experience. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful experience.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I want to remind people that your book is up in the corner over there. The QR code is there and also in the description box below. So that way you guys can find it easily. It's also on the Yaya Diamond Book Club. If you are a member of the Amazon Yaya Diamond Book Club, just go ahead and go in there and it's already there, ready for you guys to go check that out for yourselves. I absolutely love the fact that you know what you want and what you don't want. You did not want children, but this book was probably like as close to a childhood as you've ever had. Tell me, what kind of roller coasters did you go on when you were writing this book?
Well, there's a lot of fear of rejection, of course, and
Mhm.
especially with this topic, a lot of people will say things to you like, "Oh, you probably wouldn't have been a good mom anyway," or "Oh, you must be really cold and selfish," and it could be
Oh
really
wow,
hurtful. Yeah.
yeah, that's terrible.
And not having kids is sort of like taking the path less traveled, of course, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But that's okay. Not everybody's meant to have children. Not everybody wants to have kids, and it's okay. It's all right. Wow, wow. I never thought that there would be such rejection or criticism. Did I say scrutiny? Scrutiny and criticism together. It's criticism.
Criticism, that's right. Yeah. It's a new
on,
word.
yep. On you not having children. I mean, everybody has a life that they want to live. Why would they even do that? But now that you're past this book and everything, and you understand, what is it like for you now? And are you writing now?
I keep a journal. That's it.
Oh.
Right. And my mission now is, you think about all the decisions we make in our life, marriage, careers, whether or not to be a parent is the only decision that you can't go back on. You
Mhm.
can't. And if you want to have a child and you miss it, you can't come back when you're 60 years old and say, "Oh,
Oh,
yeah."
well, wait
And
a
and
minute.
so,
That's what surrogates are for. And there
uh-huh.
was a 60-year-old lady in India that had a baby.
Wow, wow.
And of course, IV, but in vitro, but she had it.
Yes,
That's
right.
crazy, isn't it?
Well, raising the child is going to be a hell of a lot harder
Well,
for her.
she's
Yeah.
had lots of help and younger people that have volunteered to help her, and in case something should happen to her, the child will be taken care of. So she just wanted the
Right.
experience and she found her mate late in life, so that was her thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it
So
is
I talk a
possible.
lot about how do people make that decision? What are some of the
Right.
things they can experience? What are some of the things they need to have in place before they have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the biggest thing that you noticed about your life within this book that you didn't realize before you started on this journey?
Well, I think it was that my life was rich and full. And when I looked around at some other folks, some famous people who also didn't have kids, I could see that their lives were rich and full also.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, I've never been spread so thin, trying to do everything. And I think especially moms, they get fed the idea that they can have it all.
Mm.
And the reality is you really can't. You're going to have a nervous breakdown.
Oh
It's
yeah. Oh yeah, and it's very easy to do. It's very, very easy to have a nervous breakdown with everything that's coming at you as a mom. And believe me, I know with the experience of having two children.
right.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
It is.
did you know that parenting a child takes on average 8 hours a day?
I do. I know
You
that.
do, because you've lived it, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
homeschool, so that was 16.
Wow.
16
Yeah.
hours a day. Yeah, it was 16. It was more like 12 to 16 hours a day, and I was a home I was a homemaker. I was at home. I was taking care of my children at home. I didn't have a job for many years, and I homeschooled them. And it was an
Wow.
experience that I will never take back, but at the
Yeah.
same time it was a learning experience for me. I don't if I don't suggest that people send their children off to school if they really want the child to learn at their own pace. Some children are faster than others. Like you, I mean,
Absolutely.
you were a child, I was a child, and when I was a child, I learned a lot faster than a lot of other people, and I got bored, so then I became the class clown. It was just the way it was.
Uh-huh.
So but that's a responsibility that a lot of people don't want to take on. And like I
Right.
said, your
Yeah.
life was full, and that's good. That is great. My life, I was my son was a okay, I'm pregnant. That was what that was. The
Uh-huh.
second one was like, okay, we're pregnant. It was like on purpose, but the first one was like, okay, we're pregnant. And so that wasn't something that I had planned, but my
Uh-huh.
son, I would never give him up. You know what I mean? but
Right.
but
And
in
you
the,
figured you had a good support system, it
I
sounds like.
did.
You figured it
I
out.
Yeah, I did. I had my mom. I had family, friends. My husband was, still the same husband I have today, and you can't take it back. But I don't criticize people for not having children. I know what a responsibility that is. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, in your book, what can people expect that people that don't want children, people that never had children, and I don't want anyone to feel guilty here. If that's something that you decided or you just couldn't do, it's fine. It's fine. So, what is your book going to help with in terms of people that didn't or just didn't want to have children?
Well, a lot of advice on things that you need to think about, like your estate plan, for example, right? You're not going to have anybody to leave your stuff to, and you're not going to have anybody to take care of you when you get old,
Mm,
right? No children.
yeah.
Um, how to how to make sure that how to make friends, for example, because it's hard to be the only one without kids when everybody around you has like school kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to birthday parties and soccer games and yeah, so just some general advice
Hmm.
on those kinds of things.
In my family, if you're a good friend, you're an auntie. You have
And
you
that's
have
right.
responsibilities. I'm
That's
bringing the
right.
kids.
Right. Yeah.
Is
And
that is
that's
that something
fun
that you could
too.
do as well? I mean, could you be a part of someone else's life that has children to help them with that responsibility, like a godparent or aunt to them?
Absolutely. Right. Right.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I've done a lot of that too. I've
Mm,
I've met young people and like a server at our favorite restaurant, and he was from a family that didn't have a lot of money, and he was going on a trip to Europe. And his last night at work, he came in, and I gave him like $500 and just said, "Thank you so much. I
mhm.
really." We appreciated you helping us. I gave a young man a scholarship to college.
Wow.
But I have, because I don't have kids, I
Right?
have the money to do that and to do
Yeah,
it for some folks that their own parents
exactly.
can't do it financially.
Yeah,
Right.
financially. Yeah. And nowadays it costs so much money to have kids. It's ridiculous.
It
It is
does.
like,
Right.
why? Why? And the U.S.
Right.
economy they're saying, economists are saying that we're not having children at the rate that we used to have children, and they're really concerned about the population of the United States because people don't want to have kids, but obviously they don't want to have kids. It's going to cost an arm and a leg and a toe to have them, you know?
Right.
So it's like,
That's
forget that, you know? So
right. It does.
it
Yeah.
is really hard. It is really hard.
Yeah. Well, and I think that as a society, we have got to support families and parents and children because that's our future, right?
Yeah, yes, yes. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. We do have to support them. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It has just been such a pleasure having you. Your website, do you have a website or is it just going to be the Amazon?
It's completewithoutkids.com. That's the
Nice.
website.
So complete, I'm going to put that at the bottom, completewithoutkids.com, right? So let
That's
me go
right.
ahead and do that.
Yes. And I have a blog on Psychology Today also. I
Hmm.
post articles on anything to do with child-free living. Yeah.
Mm.
Get lots of rude comments from folks on that.
I hear you. So we're going to go ahead and show that completewithoutkids.com.
Oh,
That's going
perfect.
to be
Yes,
the
that's great.
website. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Well, thank you so much again for being on the show. I totally appreciate it. It's been such a pleasure to see the other side where you didn't have children, but you're fine with that. And you know what? It's okay. Everybody has their own life they want to live, and I don't believe in anyone criticizing someone else for their choices that they've made for their lives.
Well, thank you, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and
Definitely, definitely.
it's
Well,
a good
thank
day
you.
to celebrate.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you. And
Bye.
thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different, but most of all, don't forget to check out that book and the website right there, completewithoutkids.com. We want to thank you guys so much again. And don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you for watching.
I dare to